good to YouTube? This is Acid Roots Wire. So this is part 23 of the Devil May Cry playthrough as far as those pitch kind of happen. So the thing about this particular episode is just the factoid that we start this mission off exiting like the ghost ship, which was particularly the setting of the past few episodes as far as what's going to happen. There's good news and bad news about this particular playthrough. So if you're wondering where is episode 22, the pitch behind it is that episode is kind of some lost footage that I don't have access to right now. The concept of it is I do have the footage on my old computer, but that computer particularly kind of broke as far as those fares can happen. So I can't get access to it unless I pay some money to get the computer fixed within those fares, which I just recently spent like some money getting a new desktop computer so I have a working computer to do anything with. So it's just kind of within the pitch as far as saying it's just within the process of it. But I look after it here just within the concept. The thing about it is what I was trying to figure out with Devil May Cry is just the concept as far as saying, like, I was trying to see if you could revisit missions that you've beaten, and it doesn't appear that you can do that. So the concept about it is once you complete a mission, I think you have to beat the game or just start over in order to get back to those missions. Considering that I'm at mission 13, 14, it's just kind of the concept. I didn't want to play the whole game over, so I just didn't have access to mission 13. Now I have the footage on another computer, but that computer is broken, so there's no way of getting it. So just within the concept. So that's the bad news within the format of just saying, for now, episode 22, which had the original footage of episode 22, which had mission 13 completed, which is really not much of anything. If I don't get to that within the time frame of like the next sudden while, I just would say within the pitch, you just have to understand that mission 13 is just swimming out of the ghost ship. It's just the leftovers after that ghost ship gets destroyed within the fashion after fighting the Phoenix boss, the Phoenix bird boss. It's just kind of within the pitch for saying you have to escape the ghost ship, but it's a really relatively short mission, no boss battles or anything like that, just escaping like the ghost ship as far as those first can happen. But I look after it here. The good news is just the fact that I do actually have a save file that allows me to get to mission 13. It's just kind of the concept. The problem with it is the last time I saved on one of my previous save files, I have 3 save files on this particular game, 2 of which saved to mission 14. So I saved twice just to make sure in case I lose a copy of one of my save files. But the 3rd save file was the last time I saved on that particular one, which I don't know why I saved on that one, but I think mission 11 probably gave me problems. I just wanted to do that one better. But basically mission 11 was the concept that was mission 11 where I last saved, so I'd have to do mission 12 again, which the unfortunate thing about it is just the concept that I don't really want to fight that Phoenix boss again. That bird boss was kind of a royal pain in the ass, having to use the ebony and ivory guns to shoot that boss down, and that boss is just a royal pain. It's just kind of concept. It's just a real trial to do it, so I'm kind of delaying that, basically kind of procrastinating getting that particular boss. In some fashions, if I get lazy enough, I may not even do mission 13. It's really not too much like an essence to really have that. I mean, all you're really getting is, it's not even really that you get to see Dante that much. You're just using basically like the needle gun, and then just basically you're just using the needle gun and then just fighting a couple like water phantoms or something like that, and then just escaping the ship. It really takes less than 2 or 3 or 4 minutes within the aspect. I mean, it took a little bit longer when I did that particular episode just because I didn't really know what was appropriately going on, but it's just within the fashion as far as saying that's the concept. So if you ever want to see episode 22 the way it was intended, there's only 2 options for that. I either have to get my old desktop computer fixed and hope that it works. The fashion behind that was that desktop computer really got fried within the pitch behind it. So I would like to think that they could get the parts and the materials that they need to repair that particular computer, but if not, I may not be able to use that computer really ever again within the fashion. They may be able to repair it. It is from 2016, so I don't know if they would have the full bound essence. It just depends upon the willingness and the cooperation of the computer shops that are nearby within the sense, but it's not something that's going to happen like in April or May or something like that. I don't know. It just with the concept of having to get the money to do it and then have the concept of picking out the computer and just the process within all that, just in the setup, it's just it's just easier to focus on like the more kind of estranged kind of good news, which is just within the concept that the footage on this particular game is going to continue. So it's the aspect from mission 14 forward. I did manage to complete mission 14, which is going to be seen in the next episode, episode 24, as far as those aspects going to happen, that we get done with mission 14, then basically 66% done with the game, 2/3 done with the game. There's 21 missions in this game. Just depends upon if I'm going to do the bonus missions, but then even if I do, I don't know how to get. I really was underneath the impression that you could access. That's what I was counting on a little bit ago before I got the PlayStation set up in the other other room is just thinking that you could go back and you could fuck around and go back to prior missions. Maybe you can, I'm not really sure. I didn't look it up on Google or something like that. I just question within the act. I mean, it would seem like you should be able to do that, because I don't know if you have to beat the game first in order to do that. I just kind of look after here within the access to just being able to say, I mean, it just does not make sense that for some reason, if there are secret things that you do within those missions, that you have to do it in one fell swoop. I mean, I just don't know why you would have the ability to save if you couldn't go back and play like a previous mission. There's something missing here within those access points as to me trying to figure out as to why you cannot just go back to a previous mission as opposed to having to beat the game or something. So I don't know. It's just this questionnaire. I'm going to look it up on Google and stuff like that, some of those type places. Just figure out maybe some frequently asked questions about this particular game. See if I can figure out the concept with the what for with it. It just feels like there's something missing here that you should be able to go back to those. So I really don't want to do mission 12 again. Let's look within the tone as far as those aspects going to happen. I mean, if I have to, I would say in terms of completionist sake, I might do it. That Phoenix boss is going to be a royal pin in the ass, but I might be able to get towards that. But it's just within the fair as far as saying that just kind of within the back and forth. So this particular episode is a little bit shorter. My alarm for my phone went off, so that's the pitch. Like I was saying, if you can't tell this particular episode and these further episodes until something gets to happening a little bit better, which may not even happen within the first place. Just going back to basics, the way I used to record walkthroughs and pitches like that. So it's just kind of the concept that a lot of this probably until the end of the game I'd have to say is going to be like cell phone oriented, just because I attempted to set up the software for the Hog, which is the device I used to record previously all the episodes of this game and other games on Asteroids wired with that. Just didn't recognize it on the computer. It is a 2025 desktop computer system in the pitch. It should be able to recognize it, but it's just kind of the concept of me not having like the computer know how to really get that figured out. So I'm not going to wait until April or May or something like that, just trying to get the availability behind folks that would have the essence being able to do it. So it's just kind of the concept of just not really having like the 411 about some of that type of stuff. So I'm just going to use the old traditional type way, cell phone type fare. It's not like it's that makeshift within this. It works for what the pitch of it is. It's just kind of concept of just being able to do it. So it just feels like it's ripped out of 2010 or 2008, something like that, just in the fair. But yeah, my cell phone went off. The alarm clock for warning me to take my meds went off, so it's within the pitch. That's why this episode kind of shut off abruptly within the pitch. But basically, I do complete this mission like the next episode, so it's a good concept for that. But yeah, just some extra type stuff within the music type fair. Plenty of these musics that I'm finding within the pitch. These mixtapes are just relentless within the fair behind it. Some of that particular type fair. Still finding some Dennis products, some of those type of pitches, just that sort of stuff. Some of those type pitches. Other folks, Young Scooter, Young Dolph, some of those type folks just pitches like that. Walk a Flock, just plenty of these type folks within the fair behind this. Good essence of a lot of this. But yeah, subscribe for more fun. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night and stay tuned for more of these folks.